Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Hope and Homeschool. I'm Lindsay Anderson, founder of hopeandhomeschool.com and the Kingdom Mom coaching community and the host of the Kingdom Mom podcast. If you haven't checked it out yet, you gotta. So today we're going to be talking about 3 really simple steps for a morning routine, specifically for a homeschooling mom, but even if you're not a homeschooler, these are still really good things to do. So, super duper easy. You know we're all about routines at hopeandhomeschool.com. And the first routine is eat and get ready. So this one's super duper simple. It's just literally eat breakfast and get dressed for the day. So I have found that we are just much more productive if we actually get dressed before we start our school day. Because if we are in our pajamas and we start school, we tend to be just, including myself, full disclosure, not very productive. And we're kind of in a bad mood. So we get completely dressed before we start school. I don't always do my makeup on these days, but I do always at least get dressed before we start school. Now, my other routines, you've maybe heard me talk about other routines in our coaching or in other YouTube videos. And I do most of those before my kids even get up. So like taking my vitamins, doing all of that, I do that beforehand. But number 2 is we actually clean and then go through our morning routines before we start our school day. So I'm folding a load of laundry and starting a new load of laundry before we start our school day. I am cleaning up the breakfast dishes. My daughter's making the bed. Like all of this stuff is happening before we start our school day because I have found, again, this is all about me and my darn attitude. It doesn't even have anything to do with my kids. Is I tend to be in a better mood when we start school if all of that stuff is already taken care of because I don't feel like I'm falling behind, and I feel like because those other things aren't going on in the back of my mind that I can be fully present with my kids during their schoolwork. So number 3, I told you this one was simple. Number 3 is we actually start school. So we tend to start school around 9 o'clock in the morning, and we usually start with a book. So Fly wanted to be in the YouTube video today. Anyway, we start with a book. So right now we're reading through like the Laura Ingalls Wilder series, but sometimes we'll do a science book. Honestly, depends on the day, depends on our mood. A lot of this stuff actually depends on our mood now that I think about it. Our mood determines a lot in homeschool. So we do that, and then we start with our classical conversations memory work. Then after we're done with that, that usually takes about a half an hour to an hour. Then we move on to either math or reading or phonics or whatever. And usually by the time we're done with that, it's time for lunch. So by the time lunch rolls around, we actually are done with school. It's amazing and awesome. And so then we can move on to our afternoon routine. So I told you today was going to be a simple one. I've been talking for like 3 minutes. 3 super duper simple morning routines for homeschoolers. All right, have a great day.